Alright guys, today we got a quick how-to video. We're going to be putting on this Minn Kota Terrova onto this pontoon boat. This is an 80-pound thrust with a 60-inch shaft. We're going to take you step by step through the process. Let's get started. Alright, we're going to be installing one of these quick release trolling motor mounts so we can take it on and off the pontoon. So first thing we're going to do on this Terrova, we're going to pull the sides off of this, and that's going to allow us to get our bolts in here. Alright, so inside the box, it's got a handy diagram that you can use to put down on your boat deck. That way you know exactly where your holes need to go. So we're going to put our screw in the bottom of the trolling motor, and then on this side, each one is going to get a washer and a nut. If you depress your lever here, it's going to give you more room to work. Sometimes you got to be an octopus to get this stuff on there. All right, 7/16 wrench, and we're going to tighten it up. This is your locking pin right here, so you can put a padlock on your mount. So you just want to make sure that the big end is in the hole first, and just repeat the process. We're just going to add a washer and a nut on this side. Alright, so now that we got our 6 bolts into our mounting plate, we're just going to put our sides back on now. And these screws are already in the hole, so we're just going to tighten them down. Now that that's good and tight, we're going to mark the center of the boat, and that way we know where to put our mounting plate. So basically what we did was we put our template down and we measured from each side of the boat to this line here, and we got it even on both sides. So right now ours is 40 and 11/16 each way. And then you have to make sure that this line right here is out past the outside of the boat. That way your trolling motor clears the gunwale. So we're going to tape this down into place, and then that way it doesn't move. And then that way we're going to use these 4 holes right here to drill through the deck. So we're right up against the edge right here, but you can see how it's slanted down. So we're going to put these washers that came with the trolling motor, so you don't have to buy anything extra. It's actually inside the box, and that's going to make it level right there for us. I'm going to get all these started, and then we're going to tighten everything down. So I'm working over the water, and I don't want to get wet. I'm going to put a piece of painter's tape on the washers. That way it'll hold it in place while I get the nut screwed on. All right, we got our plate on the boat now. All we got to do is just set the trolling motor on top of it. Just like that. We'll take our pin, slide it in this side. Forward. Yeah. There we go. Got our pin in there, and then you can put a padlock right here if you want to. All right, so what we did, wired this up off camera. This is a plug. This is going to go into this end, and this is going to go to our batteries here. It's going to plug in just like this. Just like so. That way we can take the trolling motor on and off the boat. We're going to take this piece right here, and we're going to mount it to the side of this seat, and our batteries are going to go on the inside. So we got a 1 1/4" hole saw. All right, so we're going to take these wires. They're going to go through there, and that's going to mount just like that. Got our plug in. This is how it's going to go, just like this. All right, we're putting on the weedless wedge. You got to get it lined up with your pin there. Just like so. Then we're going to add our washer and our nut. Don't drop it in the water. And it goes on with a 9/16 socket. All right, so we got 2 marine deep cycle batteries here. We're gonna wire these up in a series. We're gonna add a circuit, a 60 amp circuit, and I'll try to put a diagram up on the screen. That way y'all can kind of get an idea of what we're doing. It's probably gonna be hard to see. I'm just gonna talk about this circuit breaker for just a minute. So we got it coming off this positive terminal going to our battery line as it's marked on the switch, and then we're going to run another wire that's going to go to the plug off the load line. And if it trips, it's going to look like that, and then you just need to reset it just like so. All right, so after the circuit breaker, whenever we get it in the mail, we're going to come back and add a battery cutoff switch here. As we were wiring this up, we also put a Noco Genius dual bank battery charger on here, and we're going to get this mounted into the boat. That way we can charge these batteries and we don't have to lug them in and out of the boat. Trying to mark the location of our screw and get it started. The charger is going to rest in the slot here on the screw, and then we can tighten it up. Just like that. And that way, this right here is going to plug into a plug, and you can charge both batteries at the same time. I'll leave a link down in the description for you guys if you're interested in buying this Noco Genius. All right, so this particular model, it comes with a remote and a foot pedal. So we're gonna go ahead and install the foot pedal, and it's just gonna plug into this wire here on the bottom of the trolling motor. You just take these connectors off, just plug them in. All right, now that we got everything hooked up, now the only thing to do is go out and give it a good water test and check it out. All right, so we're just going to do left and right, make sure left and right's good. All right, so we're going to turn our prop on, and this right here is going to tell us which direction we're moving. So if we turn it like that, it'll move us back, and we can hit our anchor button on the remote and spot lock, and this is going to hold the front of the boat in place. All right, so the Minn Kota Terrova, it came with this heading sensor. Y'all let me know down in the comments. I'm not going to install it right now, but y'all let me know if it's something that I'm going to need, if it's going to make things better for me. Either way, let me know your experiences with this. Put it down in the comments.